Listen to me. I want you to understand something right now. Belief is not just some fluffy idea. Belief is not just saying, I think I can do it. Belief is the fuel that moves mountains. Belief is what separates the ones who talk about greatness from the ones who achieve it. You can have talent, you can have skills, you can have opportunities, but without belief, none of it matters. Belief is what keeps you going. Everyone else tells you you can't do it. Belief is what makes you wake up before the world wakes up, grind when the world rests, and push harder when the world quits. When you believe in yourself, obstacles turn into stepping stones, failures turn into lessons, and doubt becomes fuel for your rise. You have to understand this. People will try to tell you who you are, what you can do, and where your limits are. But belief tells you something different. It says, I am more than my circumstances. I am stronger than my setbacks. I'm capable of greatness. And the moment you believe it, the world has no choice but to adjust to your vision. I'm not talking about blind belief. I'm talking about belief backed by action. You believe, then you grind. You believe, then you sacrifice. You believe, then you become relentless. Belief without action is a dream. Action without belief is frustration. But when belief meets action, my friend, you create unstoppable momentum. So today, I challenge you. Start believing in yourself like your life depends on. Start believing in your dreams like the world needs them. Start believing in your power like no one else can see it yet. Belief is the ignition. You are the fire. Let's go. Listen to me. I want you to really pay attention right now because this is where it all begins. Everything you do, every decision you make, every success you chase, it all starts here with belief. Not just any belief, but the kind of belief that shapes you from the inside out. Belief defines identity. Let me say that again. Belief defines identity. Who you believe you are becomes the person you show the world every single day. And if you don't start there, if you don't start with belief, nothing else you do will ever stick. It doesn't matter how talented you are. It doesn't matter how smart you are. It doesn't matter how many opportunities come your way. If you don't believe in who you are, you will never step into your full potential. Think about it for a second. Every person you've ever looked up to, every person you admire, every person who's made a difference, they all had one thing in common. They believed in themselves. They believed they were capable of more than anyone else could see. They believed they were destined for greatness. They didn't wait for validation from the world. They didn't wait for someone to hand them a certificate or give them permission. They believed, and that belief became the blueprint for their identity. Now, let me ask you something. How do you see yourself? When you look in the mirror, what do you see? Do you see someone who is capable? Do you see someone who can overcome obstacles? Or do you see someone defined by the mistakes of the past, the judgments of others, and the limitations that the world has tried to place on you? Because here's the truth. The world will try to define you. The world will tell you who you are, what you can do, and what you're worth. But that is not your identity. That is not your truth. Your truth is what you choose to believe about yourself, not what someone else says. The belief is powerful because it is the lens through which you see everything else. It colors your perception of your abilities, your opportunity, and your future. If you believe you are weak, you will act weak. If you believe you are not enough, you will show the world that you are not enough. But if you believe you are strong, if you believe you are capable, if you believe you are unstoppable, your actions will reflect that. Belief is the seed, and identity is the tree that grows from it. Let me give you an example. I've seen people with less talent, less skill, and fewer resources rise to heights that others could never imagine because they believed. They didn't have the fanciest education, the biggest connections, or the smoothest path. But they had something far more important. They had belief. And that belief told them who they were. It told them that they were fighters. It told them that they were winners. It told them that they would not be defined by circumstances, but by their determination. And the world had no choice but to recognize their identity because they owned it fully. Now, I want you to understand something critical. Belief is not just thinking positively. Belief is not just repeating affirmations or saying, I can do it without conviction. Belief is the unwavering confidence that no matter what, you are destined for more. Belief is the voice inside you that whispers, I am capable, I am worthy, I'm enough even when everyone else doubts you. Belief is the fire that burns in your soul and refuses to be extinguished by rejection, failure, or criticism. And here's the kicker. Your identity cannot grow beyond your belief. You cannot become someone greater than the belief you hold about yourself. That is why so many people never achieve what they are capable of. They don't lack talent. They don't lack opportunities. They lack belief. They fail to see themselves as the person who can accomplish greatness. And because they failed to believe, their identity remains small, confined, limited by fear and doubt. But when you start believing in yourself, when you start seeing who you truly are, everything changes. Your identity shifts. Your mindset shifts. Your action shifts. You start to show up differently in life. People start to take notice. Doors open that were once closed. Opportunities reveal themselves that you couldn't see before. That is the power of belief defining your identity. Listen to me again. Belief is the blueprint. It defines your character, defines your courage. It defines your resilience. You want to be confident. You must believe in yourself. You want to be persistent. You must believe in your ability to push through. You want to achieve success. You must first see yourself as someone who is successful. Because the world does not give you identity. The world tries to assign you labels. The world tries to tell you your worth. But your identity is yours to claim, and belief is how you claim it. Identity is not just about who you think you are. It's about how you behave, how you respond, and how you carry yourself every day. If you believe you are a winner, your actions will reflect a winner's mindset. You will make decisions like a winner. You will endure challenges like a winner. You will persevere through pain like a winner. On the other hand, if you believe you are a victim, your actions will reflect that too. You will shrink in the face of adversity. You will let fear dictate your choices. You will settle for less than you are capable of. Identity is a reflection of belief. What you believe becomes your reality. Here's another truth you need to hear. Your identity shapes the you bring into every room, every conversation, every opportunity. When you believe in yourself, people feel it. When you doubt yourself, people feel that too. Your belief is contagious. It influences how others see you and how they interact with you. And here's the most important part. You cannot fake it. You cannot pretend to believe. True belief must come from within. It must be cultivated, strengthened, and protected. And once it is established, it will guide your life in ways nothing else can. You see, belief also allows you to take ownership of your story. So many people blame circumstances, people, or society for where they are. But the truth is, you have the power to redefine yourself at any moment. You can choose what you believe about your life. You can choose what you believe about your future. You can choose what you believe about yourself. And when you make that choice, you take control of your identity. You stop being a product of your environment and start being a product of your belief. That is empowerment. That is freedom. That is transformation. Now, don't get it twisted. This is not easy. Belief is tested every single day. You will face doubts from others, challenges in life, setbacks that make you question yourself. And in those moments, your belief will be your anchor. When people tell you that you can't, when circumstances push against you, when failure tries to convince you to quit, your belief will define who you are capable of. You will either crumble under pressure or you will rise because your identity is rooted in unshakable belief. Think about it. Every time you've accomplished something meaningful, it started with belief. Before you took action, before you worked tirelessly, before you overcame obstacles, you had to first believe that it was possible. And that belief shaped your identity in that moment. You became the person who could do what others thought was impossible. And that's the power I want you to tap into. And I want you to understand that your belief today will shape your identity tomorrow, next month, next year, and for the rest of your life. So I'm asking you right now, look inside yourself and ask, who do I believe I am? And don't settle for mediocrity. Don't settle for doubt. Don't settle for the voice of fear that you can. Because the moment you decide who you truly are, the moment you claim your identity through belief, nothing can stop you. You will move differently. You will think differently. You will respond differently. You will become unstoppable. And here's the most important part. Belief is contagious, but it starts with you. You cannot wait for someone else to validate your identity. You cannot wait for society to recognize your worth. You cannot wait for circumstances to be perfect. You start with belief. You nurture it. You protect it. You act on it every single day. You let it define how you see yourself, how you move, and how you fight. And when you do that, you will not only change your life, you will change the lives of everyone around you. So I want you to leave here today with this understanding. Your belief is your identity. Your belief shapes your actions. Your belief defines your destiny. You are who you believe you are, nothing more, nothing less. And when you fully embrace that, when you step into that identity, the world will have no choice but to see the greatness that was inside you all along. Don't let doubt steal your identity. Don't let fear dictate who you are. Don't let other people write your story. Claim your belief. Own your identity. Walk boldly into the life you are meant to live. Because when belief defines your identity, there's nothing you cannot accomplish, nothing you cannot overcome, and nothing you cannot become. Now get up. Believe and let the world feel the power of who you truly are. Listen to me. I want you to understand something right now, because this is the difference between ordinary and extraordinary. Life is going to test you. Life is going to throw fear in your face every single day. Fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of what people will say, fear of falling short, fear of not being enough. And I'm telling you this, everyone feels it. Every single person you admire, every single person you look up to, they felt it too. But here's the thing that separates those who succeed from those who stay average. Belief turns fear into fuel. Yes, you heard me right. Fear is not your enemy. Fear is not a sign to stop. Fear is not a signal that you are weak. Fear is your body telling you that something important is at stake. Fear is energy. Fear is power waiting to be directed. And if you know how to harness it, if you know how to control it, it can push you farther than you ever imagined. You see, the world wants you to think that fear is something to avoid. The world wants you to shrink back, to hesitate, to settle. But belief tells you something different. It tells you that fear is a signal that you are on the right path. Fear is the alarm that wakes up the warrior inside you. Think about it for a second. Every time you've been afraid to do something, what happened if you let that fear stop you? You stayed stuck. You didn't grow. You didn't achieve. You didn't see what was possible. But when you face fear with belief, something amazing happens. That fear transforms. It becomes motivation. It becomes energy. It becomes a driving force that propels you forward. Belief is the key that unlocks fear's potential. Belief says, I can do this. I am capable. I will not be stopped. And the moment you believe that, fear is no longer a wall. It's a jet fuel to lift you higher than ever. Let me tell you something. The most successful people you've ever seen are not people without fear. They are people who learned how to use their fear. They learned that fear is a compass pointing them toward growth. Fear is a signal that they are about to step out of their comfort zone and into greatness. Fear is an indicator that the stakes are high, and high stakes are where greatness is born. You want to be great? You have to learn how to turn fear into fuel. You cannot avoid it. You cannot run from it. You must embrace it. And the way you do that is through belief. Here's the truth I want you to grasp. Fear is inevitable, but failure is optional. The only reason fear has power over you is if you let it control you. The only reason fear holds you back is if you doubt yourself. But when you believe in your abilities, fear loses its strength. When you truly believe that you are capable, that you have what it takes to succeed, fear no longer paralyzes you. It energizes you. It makes you sharper, more focused, more relentless. It becomes fuel for action. Let me paint a picture for you. Imagine standing at the edge of something big. Maybe it's a new career. Maybe it's a new business. Maybe it's pursuing a dream that everyone else said was impossible. Your heart is racing. Your palms are sweaty. Your minds are screaming. Your mind is screaming, oh, what if I fail? They laugh at me. What if I'm not good enough? That's fear. And here's the choice. You can let that fear stop you, or you can let belief turn that fear into power. If you choose belief, that fear transforms. Your racing heart becomes adrenaline. Your sweaty palms become readiness. Your doubts become determination. You are no longer afraid. You are alive, engaged, and ready to conquer. That is what I mean when I say belief turns fear into fuel. And listen to me carefully. This is not easy. Fear is relentless. It will try to creep back every single day. Every challenge you face, fear will be there, whispering doubts, reminding you of past mistakes, tempting you to quit. But belief is louder. Belief is stronger. Belief is persistent. Belief refuses to let fear dictate your life. Belief says, I will rise, I will push, I will endure, I will overcome. And when you operate from that belief, fear no longer rules you, it serves you. You see, fear is often a reflection of what you care about most. If something scares you, it usually means it's important. It means this is worth fighting for. It means this is worth pursuing. So instead of running from fear, use it. Let it remind you of your purpose. Let it remind you of your dreams. Let it remind you that you are alive, that you are capable, that you are destined for something greater. And the fuel that fear provides can ignite a fire inside you that nothing and no one can put out. Let me give you a story. I've seen people paralyzed by fear their entire lives. They were smart, talented, and had opportunity, but they let fear win. And what happens? Their dreams stayed small. Their potential went unrealized. They lived lives of regret. But then there are others who decided to believe in themselves. They chose to trust their instincts, to trust their ability, to trust that fear was just a signal, not a stop sign. And those people, they turned fear into fuel. They turned their doubts into determination. They turned their anxiety into action. And the results, extraordinary. Because belief gave them the courage to act despite fear. Here's another truth. Fear thrives on uncertainty. Fear thrives on the unknown. But belief diminishes uncertainty. Belief gives you confidence. Belief gives you clarity. Belief gives you a compass to navigate challenge. When you believe in yourself, you have a foundation. You have something solid to stand on when everything else feels shaky. And that foundation transforms fear from a roadblock into a tool, a weapon, a motivator. You start to see fear not as a reason to stop, but as a reason to push harder, to dig deeper, to rise higher. And let me tell you something else. Fear will never disappear completely. I don't care who you are, how successful you become, or how confident you get. But the difference is the people who succeed don't run from it. They use it. They take that fear, that nervous energy, that doubt, and they turn it into relentless action. They work harder, smarter, and longer because they believe they can. Belief transforms fear into fuel, and fuel creates momentum. Momentum produces results. Results build confidence. Confidence reinforces belief. And the cycle continues until you are unstoppable. Think about it. Fear is temporary. Fear comes and goes. But belief is lasting. Belief is enduring. Belief is a mindset that will carry you through the toughest challenges, the longest nights, and the hardest battles. When you believe in yourself, fear becomes irrelevant because your identity, your purpose, and your drive are stronger than any anxiety or doubt. You have tapped into a power that cannot be taken from you, no matter what happens in the world. That power is your belief. That power is the fuel that fear provides when you know how to use it. Now, I want you to hear me loud and clear. Don't try to avoid fear. Don't try to numb. Don't wait until fear goes away to take action. You will wait forever if you do. Fear is not a signal to stop. Fear is a signal to move, to grow, to challenge yourself, to step into your potential. When fear arises, let belief be your guide. Let belief remind you that you are capable, that you are prepared, and that you are worthy of achieving your dreams. Let belief transform that fear into fuel that drives you forward faster than you ever imagined. Let me leave you with this. Life will test you. Life will scare you. Life will scare you. Life will push you to the edge. But belief is your lifeline. Belief is the weapon that turns fear into power. Belief is the energy that turns doubt into action. Belief is the fire that transforms anxiety into achievement. And when you fully embrace that, when you let belief guide your step, there is nothing you cannot accomplish. You will start to move in ways that feel unstoppable. You will start to act in ways that feel fearless. You will start to rise to heights that fear alone could never allow. So today, I want you to make a choice to see fear differently, a choice to see it as fuel, as energy, as a tool. A choice to believe in yourself so deeply, so powerfully, that fear no longer has a hold on you. You are stronger than fear. You are capable of more than fear wants you to believe. You are meant for greatness, and belief will get you there. Let fear drive you. Let it energize you. Let it push you forward. And as you do, remember this. Belief turns fear into fuel, produces results. Results produce momentum, and momentum creates the life you were meant to live. Now get up. Face your fears. Believe in yourself. Use that fear. Turn it into fuel. and go out and dominate the life you were born to live. Listen to me right now. I need you to pay attention. This is one of the most powerful truths you will ever hear. Belief is contagious. Yes, I said it. Belief is contagious. It's not just something that affects you, it spreads. It reaches people around you, people you don't even know. And it has the power to ignite greatness in others. I'm talking about a kind of belief so strong, so undeniable, so visible that it can't be contained. When you truly believe in yourself, that energy radiates and people feel it. People see it. People are drawn to it. And the crazy part is, they start believing too. Think about the people you admire most. What is it about them that makes you want to follow, learn, and be inspired by them? Is it just their talent? Is it just their skill? No. It's the belief they have in themselves and in what they do. It's the energy, the confidence, the fire that cannot be hid. When someone truly believes, it shows. It shows in how they move. It shows in how they talk. It shows in how they handle challenges. And when you see someone with that kind of belief, something happens. You start to believe too. Belief is contagious, my friend. It spreads like wildfire. If you let it, it can change everything. Now, let me break this down for you. Belief is not just about thinking you can do something. It's about living it, breathing it, and showing it in every action. People can see when you really believe. They can feel it in your presence. They can feel it in the way you handle pressure, in the way you chase your goals, in the way you refuse to quit. And when they see that, they start to question themselves. They start to ask, if they can believe, maybe I can too. And before you know it, your belief has sparked a fire in someone else's heart. That is the power of belief being contagious. I want you to understand something critical. This is not just about making yourself better. This is about creating ripple effect. When you believe in yourself, you are not just changing your life. You are impacting the lives of everyone around you. Your family, your friends, your colleagues, even strangers. You never know who is watching you, who is inspired by your actions, who is motivated by your conviction. One person who believes can light up a room. One person who believes can change the energy of a team. One person who believes can spark a movement. Belief is contagious and it spreads far beyond what you can see. Let me give you an example. Think about leaders, coaches, mentors, and teachers. What separates a great leader from an average one? It's not just knowledge. It's not just skill. It's belief. Great leaders believe in their vision. They believe in their mission. And most importantly, they believe in the people they lead. That belief is felt. It's seen. It inspires people to rise to the occasion, to get more than they thought they had, and to achieve more than they ever imagined. Belief is a force multiplier. It amplifies the energy and potential of everyone around you. Now, let me be real with you. There are people in this world who will try to bring you down, who will try to shake your belief, who will try to dim your light. And that's why you must understand this. Your belief is not just for you. Your belief is a beacon for others. When you refuse to be shaken, when you refuse to doubt yourself, when you refuse to settle for mediocrity, that strength, that energy, that fire, it spreads. People start to see it, and it begins to ignite something in them. They begin to rise because your belief is contagious. I want you to think about the people in your life right now. Who inspires you? Who motivates you to push harder, to work longer, to keep going when it would be easier to quit? I bet it's someone who believed in themselves, someone who refused to be stopped by challenges, someone who refused to let fear, doubt, or failure define that belief in them created a spark in you. And here's the beautiful part. You have that same power. You have the ability to inspire, to motivate, to ignite belief in the hearts of others simply by believing in yourself. Belief is contagious because it is authentic. People can sense fake confidence from a mile away. You cannot fake belief. You cannot fake conviction. You cannot fake passion. True belief comes from within. And when it is genuine, it radiates outward. It reaches people in ways words cannot. It touches hearts, changes minds, and inspires action. And when people are inspired, they start to believe too. That is the ripple effect of belief, and it is unstoppable. Listen to me, because this is important. When you believe, you set the standard for what is possible. People around you start to adjust their expectations. They start to rise to match your energy. They start to see that maybe they can do more than they thought. Your belief becomes a solid coach, a mentor, and a guide for others. It shapes the culture of the room, the energy of the team, and the mindset of your community. One person's belief can spark thousands, and thousands of people believing can change the world. That is the power of belief being contagious. I want to break this down even further for you. When you believe in yourself, people start to mirror your energy. They start to emulate your confidence. They start to take risks they were too scared to take before. They start to challenge themselves in ways they never imagined. Why? Because belief is magnetic. Belief draws people in. Belief inspires action. Belief encourages growth. And the amazing thing is, you don't even have to say a word. People just feel it. They just see it. They just witness it. And in that witnessing, they start to believe too. Let me tell you a story. I've seen teams on the brink of failure. People about to give up, about to throw in the towel, about to settle for mediocrity. And then one person steps up, someone who believes, someone who refuses to quit, someone who refuses to be shaken. And suddenly the energy shifts. People start to see possibilities they couldn't see before. They start to act differently. They start to push harder. They start to believe in themselves because they witnessed someone else believing first. That is the contagious nature of belief. That is the ripple effect in action. That is how one person's fire can ignite a room, a team, a community, even a generation. Here's another truth. Belief is not limited. There's more than enough for everyone. When you believe in yourself, it does not take away from anyone else. In fact, it creates more space for others to believe. Your belief lifts others up. It inspires collaboration, growth, and collective success. When you choose to step into your power, you give permission for others to step into theirs. Belief is contagious, and it multiplies when shared. But let me warn you, belief can also be contagious in the wrong way. Doubt is contagious. Negativity is contagious. Fear is contagious. That's why you have to be careful about who you surround yourself with. Surround yourself with people who inspire you, who uplift you, who encourage your belief. Surround yourself with people who reflect the energy you want to see in the world. Because your belief can be contagious, and so can theirs. Choose wisely, because the energy you absorb and the energy you project will shape your life and the lives of those around you. And listen closely, belief also requires courage. It requires stepping out even when people doubt you, even when people laugh at you, even when people try to bring you down. Courage is the companion of belief. You have to be willing to stand tall, to be unapologetic, and to be relentless in your conviction. And when you do, your belief not only strengthens, you become a beacon for others. People start to see your courage, your determination, your faith, and they start to believe too. Here's the reality. The world is full of people who doubt themselves. The world is full of people who are stuck in fear, stuck in limitation, stuck in mediocrity. And when you believe in yourself, you provide a living example that it doesn't have to be that way. You provide proof that it's possible. You provide inspiration that belief is real and is powerful. That is why belief is contagious. That is why it spreads. Spread matters. I want you to understand this. Your belief is your gift, not just to yourself, but to the world. When you embrace your power, your potential, your purpose, your belief, you give others permission to do the same. You light the path. You show them what is possible. You inspire them to rise. And when they rise, they inspire others. That is the ripple effect of belief being contagious. That is how movements are born. That is how lives change. That is how greatness spreads. So I'm challenging you right now, step into your belief. Own it, live it, breathe it. Show it in every action you take. Let people feel it. Let people see it. Let people be inspired by it. Because your belief has power. Your belief has reach. Your belief has the ability to ignite greatness in others. And the world needs that. Your family needs that. Your community needs that. Your generation needs that. Belief is contagious and it starts with you. Let me leave you with this. Do not underestimate the power of your belief. Do not underestimate the energy you bring into a room. Do not underestimate the influence you have over others simply by believing in yourself. One person who believes can inspire hundreds. Hundreds of people who believe can inspire thousands, and thousands of people who believe can change the world. That is the contagious power of belief. That's your responsibility. That is your opportunity. That's your opportunity. That is your calling. Now get up. Stand tall. Believe in yourself like your life depends on it. Show the world what is possible. Let your energy, your conviction, your faith, and your fire inspire everyone around you. Because when belief is contagious, greatness spreads, and the world will never be the same again. Listen to me right now, because this is something you have to understand if you ever want to reach your full potential. Talent is not enough. Skills alone are not enough. Opportunities alone aren't enough. You can have all the natural ability in the world, but if you don't believe in yourself, none of it will matter. Belief surpasses talent. Yes, I said it. Belief surpasses talent. You can have the fastest hands, the strongest legs, the sharpest mind, the smoothest voice. But if you don't believe you can use that talent, if you don't believe you are worthy, if you don't believe you are capable, it will never take you where you want to go. Think about the people you admire most. Do you think got there just because they were talented? No, some of them may not have even been the most talented in the room. But here's what they had that others didn't. Unshakable belief. Belief in themselves, belief in their vision, belief in their potential. And that belief gave them the courage to push past limits, to outwork everyone, to endure hardships, and to rise above challenges. Belief is the engine that drives talent forward. Without it, talent is wasted. With it, talent becomes unstoppable. Now, let me tell you something very real. I see so many people today rely on their talent alone. They think I'm smart, I'm gifted, I have skill, so I don't need to put in the work. I don't need to believe. I just need to show up. And then what happens? They fail. They plateau. They quit. They get left behind. Why? Because belief is what transforms talent into greatness. Talent without belief is like having a Ferrari, but never putting fuel in the tank. It looks impressive. It may even turn heads, but it won't go anywhere. Belief is the fuel. Belief is the ignition. Belief is what pushes you past the finish line when talent alone will fall short. I want you to understand this. Talent is limited. Talent has boundaries. Talent can be copied. Talent can be outperformed. But belief has no limits. Belief cannot be duplicated. Belief cannot be measured. Belief cannot be stopped. And that is why it surpasses talent. You can always find someone more talented than you. You can always find someone smarter, faster, or more gifted. But you cannot find someone who believes in themselves more than you have commit to it. That belief becomes your edge. That belief becomes your event. That belief becomes the difference between ordinary and extraordinary. Let me break it down even further. Talent can get you opportunity, yes. Talent can make people notice you. Talent can open doors. But here's the truth. Belief is what allows you to walk through those doors with confidence, to perform when it matters most, to persist when everyone else gives up, and to take risks others are too scared to take. Belief is what makes the difference between showing up and showing out. Belief is what separates champions from participants. Belief is what creates legacies, while talent alone just creates potential. I want you to hear me clearly. Belief surpasses talent because it fuels action. You may have the talent to succeed, but without action, that talent sits dormant. You may have the skill to excel, but without belief, you hesitate. You may have the potential to dominate, but without belief, you settle. Belief is what makes you act when others freeze. Belief is what makes you push when others quit. Belief is what makes you rise when others fall. Talent can only take you so far, but belief can carry you to heights you never imagined. Think about athletes, musicians, entrepreneurs, and leaders. Do you think the most successful ones were always the most naturally gifted? No, they weren't always the most talented. But they were the ones who believed they could win, believed they could create, believed they could lead, believed they could overcome every obstacle. That belief gave them discipline when talent alone could not. That belief gave them endurance when skill alone could not. That belief gave them vision when opportunity alone could not. And that is why they succeeded. That is why they are remembered. That is why the impact is lasting. And here's another thing. You cannot rely on others to validate your talent. You cannot depend on the world to notice your skills. You have to believe in yourself when no one else does. You have to believe in your talent when everyone doubts it. You have to believe in your potential when no one else sees it. Because belief is contagious to yourself first. Belief turns your talent into confidence. Belief turns your skill into mastery. Belief turns your effort into excellence. Talent without belief, that's just potential. Talent with belief, that's unstoppable. Now let me give it to you straight. Life is going to test you. Life is going to test you. Life is going to present challenges, setbacks, and failure. And when that happens, your talent alone will not save you. Talent alone will not give you the courage to continue. Talent alone will not keep you moving forward. Only belief will. Only belief will push you through adversity. Only belief will allow you to rise when everyone else falls. And that is why belief surpasses talent, because belief is not dependent on circumstances. Belief is not limited by skill. Belief is not constrained by setbacks. Belief endures, persists, belief conquers. I want you to understand this clearly. The most talented people in the world are not always the most successful. You have seen it happen. You've seen someone gifted fail while someone less talented thrives. Why? Because belief is what carries you beyond natural ability. Belief is what fuels relentless effort. Belief is what drives you to grind when no one is watching. Belief is what makes you push through pain, rejection, and criticism. That is the difference. Belief surpasses talent because it cannot be measured, it cannot be contained, and it cannot be stopped. Let me ask you something. How many times have you held yourself back because you thought, I'm not talented enough, I'm not smart enough, I don't have what it takes? That is fear masquerading as logic. That is doubt masking itself as reality. But let me tell you something. The truth is not about talent. The truth is about belief. If you believe you can believe you're capable, you are. If you believe you're destined for greatness, nothing in the world can stop you. That is why belief surpasses talent. It is unlimited, it is unshakable, and it is unstoppable. And here's another truth. Belief surpasses talent because it inspires action in ways talent cannot. Talent may impress people at first glance. Talent may get you attention. Talent may even earn you temporary success. But belief is what sustains you over the long haul. Belief is what motivates you to practice when no one is watching. Belief is what makes you study, sacrifice, and push beyond comfort. Belief is what ensures that your talent doesn't go to waste. Talent without belief is fleeting. Belief with talent is legacy. I want you to hear me loud and clear. The world will always tell you to rely on talent, skill, or opportunity. They will say, if you're good, you will succeed. And yes, being good helps. But without belief, that goodness fades under pressure. Without belief, that skill falters in adversity. Without belief, opportunity slips through your fingers. Belief is what carries you when talent is tested. Belief is what pushes you when skill fails. Belief is what ensures that every opportunity is maximized. Belief surpasses talent because it is enduring, unrelenting, and unstoppable. Now I want you to internalize this. Your talent is only as powerful as your belief. Your skill is only as effective as your conviction. Your potential is only as real as your faith in yourself. That is why belief is the ultimate game changer. That is why it surpasses talent. That is why every person who has achieved greatness in this world had one thing in common: belief. They believed in themselves when no one else did. They believed in their abilities when others doubted. They believed in their dreams when the world laughed. And that belief propelled them to heights that talent alone could never reach. Let me leave you with this. If you want to succeed, if you want to dominate, if you want to rise above, then understand this: belief is more important than talent. Cultivate belief. Protect it. Feed it. Strengthen it. Let it guide your action. Let it fuel your persistence. Let it inspire others. Because talent may get you noticed, but belief gets you results. Talent may open doors, but belief carries you through them. Talent may impress people temporarily, but belief creates lasting impact. And that is why, my friend, belief surpasses talent. So I'm challenging you right now. Stop relying solely on talent. Stop waiting for skill alone to get you there. Start believing in yourself like your life depends on it. Start believing in your ability to overcome, to endure, to excel. Start believing in your potential, even when the world doubts it. Let your belief surpass your talent. Let your belief drive your actions, and watch as you achieve things your talent alone could never accomplish. Get up, believe, outwork, outlast, outperform. Because belief surpasses talent, and when you harness that belief, nothing can stop you. Listen to me. I want you to pay attention, because this is where the game is won or lost. Life will test you. Life will knock you down. Life will throw obstacles in your path that seem impossible to overcome. And here's the truth that separates those who rise from those who stay down. Belief creates resilience. Yes, I said it. Belief creates resilience. Your ability to bounce back, to endure, to keep going when everyone else quits. It all starts with belief. If you don't believe you can overcome, you will crumble at the first sign of adversity. But if you believe, if you truly believe in yourself, your dreams, and your purpose, you will endure, you will persist, and you will rise. Now listen to me closely. Resilience is not something you are born with. Resilience is not just a personality trait. Resilience is cultivated, it is built, and belief is the foundation. Belief gives you the strength to keep moving when everything inside you wants to give up. Belief gives you courage when fear tries to paralyze you. Belief gives you endurance when the world seems against you. Without belief, resilience falters. Without belief, persistence dies. Without belief, dreams are left unfulfilled. But when you believe, when you have that unshakable faith in yourself, resilience becomes unstoppable. Let me break it down for you. Life is going to push you to your limits. Life is going to test your patience, your character, your dedication. And the tests will be hard. They will be painful. They will make you question yourself, your worth, and your abilities. That is the nature of life. But here's the difference. Some people fold under pressure, while others rise. Why? Because belief creates resilience. Belief fuels the determination to keep going, no matter what. Belief is the inner fire that refuses to let setbacks define your story. I want you to think about the people you admire most. Who are the people that have overcome impossible odds, who have faced challenges that would have broken most, who have achieved greatness despite every reason to quit? Do you think they did it because life was easy? Do you think they never failed, never struggled, never faced rejection? No, they did it because they believed. They believed in their purpose. They believed in their vision. They believed in themselves. And that belief gave them the resilience to rise every time they fell, to fight every time they were knocked down, and to push every time the world said, you can't. Let me tell you something, you are going to fail. You are going to face obstacles. You are going to experience setbacks. That is guaranteed. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. And here is the secret. Belief determines how you respond. If you don't believe, you will let failure define you. You will let rejection discourage you. You will let obstacles stop you. But if you believe, if you truly believe that you are capable, that you are strong, that you are destined for more, you will keep moving. You will adapt. You will fight. You will endure. You will rise stronger than ever before. That is the power of belief. It creates resilience. Think about it this way. Resilience is like a muscle. It grows when it is tested. It strengthens when it is stretched, but it cannot grow without the fuel of belief. You can endure challenges, you can survive hardships, you can push through pain, but without belief, it is temporary. Without belief, it is fragile. Without belief, it crumbles under pressure. But with belief, resilience becomes unstoppable. With belief, setbacks are set up for comebacks. With belief, obstacles are opportunities to prove yourself. With belief, every failure becomes a lesson, every struggle becomes a stepping stone, and every hardship becomes fuel for greatness. Now let me ask you, how many times you faced challenges that seemed too big, too hard, too overwhelming? How many times have you felt like giving up, or like quitting was the only option? I'm telling you right now, the only thing that will keep you standing, the only thing that will make you rise again, the only thing that will make you keep moving forward when everything says stop is belief. Belief in yourself. Belief in your abilities. Belief in your purpose. That is what creates resilience. That is what separates the winners from the quitters. That is what separates those who achieve from those who settle. Let me tell you a story. I've seen people face devastating losses, crushing setbacks, and life-altering failure. Some of them never recover, they give up. But others rise again, stronger than before. Why? Because they believe. They believe that their story was not over. They believe that their potential was still waiting to be realized. They believed that failure was not the end, but a stepping stone to something greater. That belief became their shield. That belief became their armor. That belief became the reason they got back up when no one else expected them to. That is what resilience looks like. That is what belief produces. And here's the thing. You cannot borrow someone else's resilience. You cannot rely on someone else's belief to keep you going. It has to come from within. You have to cultivate it, nurture it, protect it. You have to remind yourself every single day that setbacks are temporary, that challenges are part of the process, and that you are stronger than anything life throws at you. Belief is what makes resilience personal. Belief is what makes it real. Belief is what turns ordinary people into unstoppable forces. Think about athletes, entrepreneurs, artists, and leaders. What separates those who achieve greatness from those who fall short? It's not talent alone. It's not opportunity alone. It's belief. They believe they can overcome. They believe they can endure. They believe they can rise after failure. And because they believe, they develop resilience. They do not quit. They do not falter. They do not let setbacks define them. Belief turns them into warriors, into relentless pursuers of their goals, into champions in every sense of the word. And I want you to hear this. Resilience is not just about enduring hardship. It's about learning, growing, and becoming stronger through it. When you face challenges with belief, every obstacle teaches you something. Every failure strengthens you. Every setback prepares you for the next level. Resilience fueled by belief is not just survival. It is transformation. It is evolution. It is becoming someone greater than you were before. Belief turns pain into power. Belief turns struggle into strategy. Belief turns adversity into advantage. Let me ask you something. When you look at your life, when you reflect on your journey, how many times did you face something that seemed impossible to overcome? And how many times did you give up? I'm telling you, the difference between those who succeed and those who fail is belief. Creates the resilience to face challenges head on, to keep going when everything inside you said stop, to rise every time you fall. Belief gives you the strength to endure what others cannot. Belief gives you the courage to push through what others avoid. Belief gives you the power to rise above what others accept. That is resilience. That is strength. That is greatness. That is greatness. Now don't get it twisted. Resilience is not easy. Belief is tested every day. Life will throw curveballs. People will doubt you. Circumstances will try to break you. But here's the secret. The more you believe, the stronger your resilience becomes. Each challenge you overcome reinforces your belief. Each obstacle you face strengthens your endurance. Each setback you rise from solidifies your conviction. Belief and resilience grow together. You cannot have one without the other. Belief creates resilience, and resilience reinforces belief. And listen to me carefully. Resilience fueled by belief is contagious. When people see you endure, when people see you persist, when people see you rise after every fall, they are inspired. They begin to believe in themselves. They begin to fight for their dreams. They begin to rise above their own challenges. Your belief and your resilience become a beacon for others. You are not just transforming your own life. You are influencing the world around you. That is the power of belief creating resilience. I want you to understand this. Life will always test you. Fear, doubt, failure, and pain are inevitable. But belief is the weapon that allows you to conquer them. Belief gives you the courage to face adversity. Belief gives you the strength to endure trials. Belief gives you the persistence to keep going when quitting seems easier. And that is why belief creates resilience. It turns obstacles into opportunities, setbacks into lessons, and challenges into growth. Without belief, resilience fades. With belief, resilience becomes unstoppable. So I want you to leave here today with this in mind. Your ability to endure, your ability to push through, your ability to rise after falling, all starts with belief. Cultivate it, protect it, strengthen it. Remind yourself every day that you are capable, that you are strong, and that you are destined for more. Face your challenges head on. Conquer your fear. Overcome your setbacks. Rise every time you fall. Because belief creates resilience, and resilience is what allows you to achieve greatness. Now get up. Believe. Endure. Persist. Rise. Conquer. Let your belief create the resilience that will carry you through anything life throws your way. And when you do, the world will have no choice but to recognize the unstoppable force that you have become. Listen to me. I need you to hear this clearly because this is the secret that separates dreamers from doers. You can have all the talent, all the knowledge, all the skills in the world, but if you do not act, nothing will happen. Belief is not just a feeling. Belief is not just hope. Belief drives action. That's right. If you truly believe in yourself, If you truly believe in your dreams, if you truly believe in your purpose, it will compel you to take action. It will push you to move when everyone else hesitates. It will force you to act when fear and doubt try to paralyze you. Belief is the engine, and action is the vehicle that gets you to your destination. Now listen to me closely. Too many people say they believe. They say they have faith. They say they want success. But their actions tell a different story. They sit and wait for the perfect moment. They wait for someone to hand them an opportunity. They wait for the stars to align. And the truth is this, the stars will never align. The perfect moment will never come. The only way to make your dreams real is today. And the reason you act is because you believe. Belief creates urgency. Belief creates drive. Belief is the fuel that turns thoughts into action, dreams into reality, and plans into results. Think about the most successful people you admire. Do you think they waited for everything to be perfect? Do you think they hesitated until the moment they felt completely ready? No, they acted, they moved, they executed. And the reason they did is because they believed. They believed in their purpose. They believed in their potential. They believed that their actions mattered. And that belief is what pushed them to show up every day, to work harder than anyone else, and to take risks that others were too scared to take. Belief drives action, and action produces results. That's the chain of success. Let me break it down even further. Belief without action is worthless. You can dream, you can hope, you can imagine, but if you do not act, nothing changes. Belief must be accompanied by relentless effort. Belief must be accompanied by consistent, purposeful steps toward your goal. Belief must be accompanied by execution. And here's the thing, when you act out of belief, obstacles become smaller, challenges become manageable, and opportunities become visible. When you act out of belief, momentum builds, confidence grows, and results follow. I want you to understand this. Action driven by belief is unstoppable. When you truly believe you are capable of achieving something, nothing can hold you back. Fear may try to slow you down, doubt may try to distract you, setbacks may try to stop you. But belief fuels action that moves you past all of it. You begin to see solutions instead of problems. You begin to see opportunities instead of obstacles. You begin to see possibilities instead of limitations. And that is the power of belief driving action. It transforms your mindset and your results simultaneously. Let me ask you something. How many times have you had an idea, a dream, or a vision, but you didn't act on it? How many times have you hesitated because you were afraid of failure, afraid of rejection, or afraid of the unknown? That hesitation is the enemy of success. And the reason it happens is simple. You didn't believe enough. When your belief is strong, fear becomes irrelevant. When your belief is unwavering, doubt cannot stop you. When your belief is unshakable, hesitation disappears. Belief drives action, and action destroys fear. Think about athletes. Think about entrepreneurs. Think about artists, musicians, and leaders. What separates those who achieve from those who merely dream? Action! They do not just think about success, they work for it. They do not just plan, they execute. They do not just imagine, they make it happen. And the reason they take action, even in the face of uncertainty, is belief. They believe in their goals. They believe in their ability to succeed. They believe in their mission. That belief propels them to act when others do nothing. That belief turns ideas into results. That belief drives action, and action changes everything. Now let me break it down for you in real terms. Every successful person you admire took risks. Every person who achieved greatness stepped out of their comfort zone. Every person who made their dreams real took massive, consistent action. And every single one of them did, because they believe. Belief is what compels you to take that first step. Belief is what keeps you moving when the road gets tough. Belief is what pushes you to keep going when everyone else quits. Belief is the invisible hand that turns thought into motion. Let me tell you something else. Action driven by belief creates momentum. One step leads to another. One small success leads to bigger results. One breakthrough leads to even greater achievement. But it all starts with a belief that you can. Belief is the spark, action is the fire. And when you combine them, you become unstoppable. Without belief, action feels like work. Without action, belief is wasted. But together, they create results, and results reinforce belief, creating a cycle of success that cannot be broken. Think about people who have faced impossible odds, who have been doubted, criticized, or underestimated. What allowed them to succeed? Belief. They believed they could achieve. They believed their actions mattered, and they acted relentlessly. They did not wait for permission. They did not wait for permission. They did not wait for a guarantee. They acted because they believed that the only way to make their vision real was through action. And that is the principle I want you to understand today. Belief drives action. Without it, nothing changes. With it, anything is possible. And listen carefully. Action without belief is exhausting. You can try to force yourself to do something without believing in, but it will drain you. It will feel heavy. It will feel like work. It will feel meaningless. But when you act out of belief, every effort becomes meaningful. Every challenge becomes worth fighting for. Every step becomes a building block toward your goal. Belief turns ordinary effort into extraordinary results. Belief turns hard work into purpose-driven action. Belief turns persistence into progress. I want you to understand, belief is not passive. It's not waiting for things to happen. It's not hoping for a miracle. Belief is active. Belief compels you to move, to act, to execute. Belief is the bridge between dreams and reality. You cannot sit and wish for success. You cannot wait for motivation to magically appear. You must act, and your actions must be fueled by belief. That is what separates winners from dreamers. That is what separates achievers from bystanders. That is what separates the extraordinary from the ordinary. Let me give you a practical example. You have a goal. Maybe it's a business you want to start, a skill you want to master, a fitness milestone you want to reach, or a dream you want to achieve. If you only believe in the idea but never act, it will never materialize. If you only take action without belief, you will burn out and give up. But when you act because you believe, you persist through challenges. You learn from failures. You adapt to setbacks. You find solutions to problems. You create results that reinforce your belief and propel you even further. That is the power of belief-driven action. Now, let me warn you, belief-driven action is not easy. It requires courage. It requires discipline. It requires sacrifice. It requires resilience. You will face fear, doubt, and resistance. But here's the truth. The stronger your belief, the stronger your action. The more you believe in yourself, the more relentless your effort becomes. The more you trust your vision, the more consistent your steps become. And the more you act, the faster your dreams become reality. Belief drives action, and action produces results that cannot be ignored. Think about the moments in your life when you achieved something meaningful. Was it because you were the most talented? Was it because luck was on your side? Maybe. But I promise you, the real driver was belief. Belief in yourself. Belief in your potential. Belief in your ability to make it happen. That belief moved you. That belief forced you to act. That belief turned your thoughts into effort. Your effort into results, into momentum. That is the cycle that creates success. I want you to leave here today with this in your mind. Action without belief is wasted energy. Belief without action is wasted potential. But when you combine the two, unstoppable momentum is created. Belief drives action. Action produces results. Results reinforce belief. And the cycle continues until your dreams are no longer dreams. They are reality. That is the secret of every great person who ever lived. That is the secret of every achievement you admire. That is the principle that will transform your life if you embrace it. So I'm challenging you right now. Stop waiting. Stop hesitating. Stop overthinking. Stop overthinking. Start acting. Start moving. Start executing. And do it with belief. Believe in yourself. Believe in your vision. Believe that your actions matter. Believe that every step you take is bringing you closer to your goals. Let belief drive your action and watch how your life transforms. Get up, take action. Move forward relentlessly. Fight for your dreams. Act like the person you are destined to be. Because belief drives action, and action changes everything. Listen to me right now, because this is one of the most important truths you will ever hear. Belief shapes your reality. Yes, I said it. Belief shapes your reality. The way you think, the way you feel, the way you see yourself, the way you see the world, it all starts with belief. Your reality is not determined by luck. It is not determined by circumstances. It is not determined by other people. It is determined by what you believe to be true. And the crazy part is most people don't even realize it. Most people go through life letting other people, society, and fear shape their reality, and they wonder why they feel stuck, limited, or unfulfilled. Let me tell you something. Your mind is the most powerful tool you will ever have. What you feed it, what you tell it, and what you believe in it shapes everything you see, everything you experience, and everything you achieve. If you believe you can succeed, you will find ways to make it happen. If you believe you are capable, you will rise to the challenges. If you believe your life can be extraordinary, you will take actions that make it extraordinary. But if you believe you are limited, if you believe life is unfair, if you believe you will never make it, guess what? That will be your reality too. Your belief becomes a lens through which you see the world. Think about it. How many people have incredible talent, skills, and potential, yet they never achieve anything significant? Why? Because their belief is limited. They don't believe they are enough. They don't believe they can make a difference. They don't believe they deserve greatness. And because of that belief, or lack of belief, they limit themselves, they settle, they quit, they accept mediocrity. And that is why belief shapes your reality. If you want a different reality, you must change your belief. I want you to understand this. Belief is not wishful thinking. Belief is not pretending. Belief is not saying, I can, and then doing nothing. True belief is a deep, unshakable conviction that you are capable of creating the life you desire. It is a conviction that shapes your decisions, drives your actions, and influences every choice you make. Your reality is nothing more than the reflection of what you believe to be possible. The stronger your belief, the bigger your reality becomes. The weaker your belief, the smaller your reality will be. Now listen closely, because this is critical. Most people allow fear, doubt, and negativity to shape their reality instead of belief. They let past failures dictate what they think is possible. They let criticism control their self-image. They let society define their limits. And as a result, their reality becomes exactly what they have been conditioned to accept: a life of mediocrity, limitation, and unfulfilled potential. But here's the truth. You are not your past. You are not your circumstances. You are not what anyone else says you are. Your reality is shaped by what you choose to believe about yourself, your abilities, and your future. Think about the people who have achieved greatness. Every single one of them had a belief that their reality could be different. Every one of them refused to accept the limitations around them. Every one of them looked at obstacles and said, I am going to rise anyway. I'm going to succeed anyway. I am going to create a reality that matches my vision, not my circumstances. That's why belief shapes reality, because it is the starting point for everything. It's the blueprint for your life. What you believe today determines what you will achieve tomorrow. I want you to think about this. If you believe you can change your life, you will. If you believe you can overcome, you will. If you believe you can rise above failure, you will. But if you don't believe, nothing changes. Your actions will be half-hearted. Your efforts will be weak. Your results will be small. And here's the thing. Your mind will convince you that it is reality. You will feel stuck, limited, and powerless. But it's not reality or belief. Your belief shapes the lens through which you view the world, and that lens determines everything. Let me break it down even further. When you believe, you start to see opportunities everywhere. When you believe, you start to recognize solutions where others see problems. When you believe, challenges become stepping stones, obstacles become lessons, and failures become fuel. That is how belief shapes reality. It transforms your mindset, it changes your perspective, and it influences your actions. And when your actions change, your results change. And when your results change, your reality transforms. That is the power of belief. That is why your mind is the most powerful tool you have. Now listen carefully. You cannot wait for someone else to give you permission to believe. You cannot wait for a miracle, for approval, for validation. Belief has to come from within. You have to look in the mirror and declare, I am capable. I am worthy. I am destined for greatness. That declaration is not just word. It is the foundation of your reality. The more you internalize that belief, the stronger it becomes. The more you act on that belief, the more your reality shifts to match it. Your belief literally constructs the reality you experience every single day. Think about athletes who overcome injuries, entrepreneurs who build empires from nothing, and leaders who transform communities. What do they all have in common? They believe their reality can be different than their current circumstances. They believe that obstacles are temporary. They believe that setbacks are just part of the journey. They believe that they can achieve extraordinary things despite what everyone else says. That belief guides their actions. That belief sustains their focus. That belief pushes them to keep going when the world doubts them. That is how belief shapes reality. Let me tell you something else. Belief is not passive. Belief does not sit on the sidelines and hope for change. Belief acts, belief speaks, belief moves, belief shapes your behavior, your habits, your decisions, your mindset. And when your habits, decisions, and mindset align with your belief, your reality transforms. You start to attract opportunities. You start to create results. You start to live the life you always imagined. That is the power of belief shaping reality. It is active, dynamic, and unstoppable. I want you to hear me loud and clear. Your belief has the power to override your circumstances. You might be broke. You might have failed before. You might have been rejected. You might have faced obstacles that seem impossible. But your belief that you are capable, that you are worthy, that you can succeed, has the power to change everything. Your belief reshapes your mindset, and your mindset reshapes your reality. The world cannot limit you unless you let it. The limitations exist only in your mind, and your belief has the power to erase them. Now think about the opportunities that exist for you right now. How many are you missing because you do not believe in yourself? How many doors remain closed because you doubt your ability? How many chances pass by because you think it is not possible? That is the tragedy for most people. They allow weak belief to shrink their reality. But here's the truth. Strengthen your belief, and suddenly your reality expands. Suddenly doors open. Suddenly possibilities appear. Suddenly your actions are aligned with what you truly want. That is why belief shapes reality. It determines what you see, what you pursue, and what you ultimately achieve. Let me ask you this. How do you see yourself? Do you see someone limited by circumstances, or do you see someone capable of more? Do you see someone trapped by fear and doubt, or do you see someone empowered by belief? That vision, that belief determines your reality. If you see yourself as a winner, your actions reflect that. If you see yourself as capable, your results reflect that. If you see yourself as destined for greatness, your life reflects that. Belief is the invisible architect of your reality. And I want to warn you, negative belief is just as powerful. If you believe you cannot succeed, you will not. If you believe life is unfair, it will feel unfair. If you believe you are limited, your life will remain small. Your reality is not just shaped by what you believe positively, it is shaped by what you believe negatively. That is why it is crucial to guard your mind, to feed your belief, to eliminate doubt, and to reject negativity. What you believe becomes what you experience. That is the power. That is the principle. Let me leave you with this truth. Every single thing you experience today, every single challenge, every single opportunity, every single relationship, every single outcome is shaped by your belief. And the exciting part is this: you have the power to change it. You can choose to believe that you are capable. You can choose to believe that you can rise. You can choose to believe that your life can be extraordinary. And the moment you do, your reality begins to shift. Belief is the starting point. Action is the bridge. Reality is the destination. So I'm challenging you right now. Start believing at a higher level. Believe that you are worthy of success. Believe that you are capable of more. Believe that your reality can be better than your circumstances. Let that belief guide your actions. Let that belief shape your mindset. Let that belief transform your life. Because your reality is not fixed. Your reality is not determined by luck or chance. Your reality is determined by what you believe, and the stronger your belief, the bigger your reality becomes. Get up, believe, act, rise, persist, conquer, transform. Let your belief shape your reality, and watch as the life you once dreamed of becomes the life you live every day. Listen to me right now, because this is the truth that will change everything for you if you grasp it and take it serious. Belief unlocks potential. Yes, I said it. Belief unlocks potential. Every single human being on this planet has untapped abilities, hidden gifts, and undiscovered strengths. Every single one of us has something inside that has never been used, something that is capable of greatness beyond imagination. But here's the problem. Most people never unlock it. They live their lives small, limited, and mediocre. Not because they lack talent, not because they lack talent, not because they don't believe. Belief is the key. Belief is the door. Belief is what unleashes the power that has been sitting dormant inside you all along. Now listen closely. Potential without belief is wasted. You can have every skill in the world. You can have the knowledge, the resources, the connections, the talent, but if you do not believe in yourself, it will never come to fruition. You can dream, you can hope, you can plan, but without belief, your potential remains locked inside you, invisible to the world. The people who achieve greatness are not always the most talented. They are the ones who believed, the ones who refused to let their gifts go unused, the ones who took action because they knew they were capable. Belief is what transforms hidden potential into real achievement. I want you to understand this. You have greatness inside of you that is waiting to be released. You have abilities that are untapped. You have a version of yourself that you have never yet become. And the only thing standing between you and that version of yourself is belief. Belief in yourself. Belief in your purpose. Belief in your ability to grow, to overcome, and to succeed. When you truly believe, your potential awakens. Your energy amplifies. Your creativity flows. Your focus sharpens. Your actions become more powerful. That is the difference between someone who dreams and someone who dominates. Belief unlocks potential. Let me break it down even further. Potential is like a seed. A seed has everything it needs to grow into a magnificent tree. But unless it is nurtured, watered, and given sunlight, it will never reach its full size. Belief is the sunlight and the water. Belief nourishes potential, feeds it, and encourages it to grow. Without belief, potential withers. Without belief, talent remains dormant. Without belief, opportunity slips by unnoticed. But when belief is present, it activates everything inside of you. It makes your potential real. It makes your gifts tangible. It makes your dreams attainable. Now I want you to think about this. How many people have you seen who are incredibly talented, but never achieve greatness? They never push past their limitation. They never challenge themselves. They never take action because they do not truly believe in what they can accomplish. They settle for mediocrity. They give up before they even try. And why? Because belief is absent. Without belief, potential remains trapped. Without belief, greatness remains a possibility, not a reality. That is why belief is so critical. It is the key that unlocks the power inside you. I want to give it to you straight. Potential is useless unless it is acted upon. You can have intelligence, you can have skill, you can have ability, but unless you believe, you will never take the steps to use it. You will never push yourself past your comfort zone. You will never endure the challenges that come with growth. You will never reach heights that are beyond what you have imagined. Belief is what pushes you to do what is hard, to persist when it is uncomfortable, to rise when it is easier to quit. Belief is the catalyst that turns potential into achievement. Think about the people you admire most. Do you think they got there just because they had natural talent? Do you think they got there by accident? No, they unlocked their potential because they believed. They believed in themselves when no one else did. They believed in their purpose when the world doubted them. They believed that they were capable more than their circumstances suggested. That belief is what activated their gifts, amplified their skills, and propelled them to levels of success that others only dream about. Belief unlocks potential. I want to ask you a question. Were you capable of that you are not yet showing the world? What gifts are inside of you that have been waiting for a chance to be revealed? What potential is locked away because you haven't fully believed in yourself yet? You are sitting on power that you haven't yet tapped. You are capable of more than you think. You are destined for more than your current reality. But the only way to release it is through belief. Belief awakens potential. Belief ignites action. Belief transforms dreams into results. And listen to me carefully. Belief is contagious to yourself first. When you believe in your potential, you start acting differently. You start speaking differently. You start thinking differently. Your energy changes. Your focus changes. Your determination changes. And the world responds. Opportunities appear. Challenges become manageable. Obstacles become stepping stones. And you begin to realize that the only thing holding you back all along was doubt, fear, and a lack of belief. Belief unlocks potential not just in your mind, but in your actions, in your habits, in your life. Now let me break it down for you even further. Potential is limitless, but it requires activation. You cannot sit and wait for someone else to unlock it for you. You cannot wait for luck, chance, or permission. You have to believe in yourself. You have to trust that you are capable more. You have to step into the discomfort, embrace the challenge, and push past the fear. Belief is the key. Belief is the spark. Belief is what turns your latent abilities into unstoppable power. Without it, potential remains potential. With it, potential becomes reality. Think about every breakthrough in history, every invention, every extraordinary achievement. Every time someone created something remarkable, it started with belief. They believed it was possible. They believed they could do it. They believed their potential mattered. And that belief drove them to action, persistence, and creativity that unlocked their gifts. That is the power of belief. It does not just influence your thoughts, it unlocks your potential and allows you to perform at levels you never imagined. Let me tell you something else. Belief is not a one-time thing. It is a habit. It is a mindset. It is something you have to cultivate every day. Doubt will try to creep in. Fear will try to whisper in your ear. Negativity will try to tell you that you are not enough. But if you believe, if you maintain that unwavering faith in yourself and your potential, nothing can stop you. Belief fuels action. Action reveals skill. Skill turns into mastery. Mastery leads to results. Results unlock more potential. That is the cycle that creates greatness. And I want to warn you, potential that is not unlocked becomes regret. Talent that is not used becomes disappointment. Dreams that are not acted upon become missed opportunity. But when you believe, you take the first step, the second step, the third step, you push through fear, you fight through doubt, you endure through challenges, and you unlock potential that's far greater than you ever imagined. Belief is the key that transforms what could be into what is. Now, let me ask you, how many times have you doubted yourself? How many times have you said, I'm not ready, I'm not enough, I can't do it? That doubt is the lock on your potential. But here's the secret. Belief is the key. When you believe, you break through the limitations you put on yourself. When you believe, you discover strength you didn't know existed. When you believe, you see opportunities that others miss. There's how belief unlocks potential. That's how belief changes everything. I want you to understand this clearly. Your potential is not something outside of you. It is not something you have to earn. It is not something that someone else gives to you. Your potential is already inside of you. It is already yours. And the only thing standing between you and the full expression of that potential is your belief. The stronger your belief, the more fully you will unleash the gifts, talents, and abilities that are within you. Belief is the doorway. Action is the key. Your life is waiting on the other side. So I am challenging you today. Stop doubting yourself. Stop waiting for permission. Stop underestimating what you are capable of. Start believing. Start trusting. Start stepping into your greatness. The potential inside of you is limitless. The abilities within you are extraordinary. The person you are capable of becoming is unstoppable. But it all starts with belief. Belief unlocks potential. Belief ignites action. Belief transforms lives. And when you embrace that belief fully, there is nothing you cannot achieve. Get up, believe, push, persist, rise, conquer. Unlock your potential. Let belief be the fuel that propels you forward. And watch as your life transforms into the extraordinary reality you were always meant to live. Listen to me right now, because this is the message that will change everything for you if you take it seriously. Belief overcomes fear. I said it. Belief overcomes fear. Fear is the number one thing that keeps people from reaching their true potential. Fear is the voice that whispers that you can't. It's too hard. You'll fail. You're not ready. Fear is what stops dreams before they even begin. Fear is what paralyzes action. But here is the truth that separates winners from quitters. Belief is stronger than fear. Belief is the weapon. Belief is the armor. Belief is the engine that pushes you through fear and propels you into greatness. Let me tell you something. Fear is natural. Fear is human. Everyone experiences it. The difference between those who achieve and those who settle is not the absence of fear, it's what you do with it. Belief allows you to act in spite of fear. Belief allows you to take risks even when your heart is pounding. Belief allows you to step forward even when doubt screams at you to stop. Fear is not the enemy. It is a signal. It's the test. It is the moment when your belief must rise higher than your doubts, higher than your insecurities, and higher than your hesitation. Think about it. Every person who has ever accomplished something extraordinary has faced fear. Athletes, entrepreneurs, artists, leaders, they all felt it. The difference is that they did not let fear control them. They did not let fear define them. They did not let fear decide their actions. They believed in themselves more than they feared failure. They believed in their vision more than they feared rejection. They believed in their purpose more than they feared the unknown. That is why they succeeded. That is why they rose. That is why belief overcomes fear. Now listen carefully. Fear will try to tell you that you are not enough. Fear will try to convince you that the odds are too high, that you are too small, that you are too late. But here is the secret. Fear only has power if you allow it to. Belief is what strips fear of its power. Belief is what silences doubt. Belief is what transforms hesitation into action. The moment you believe that you are capable, that you are worthy, that you can overcome, fear begins to shrink. Belief is the antidote. Belief is the shield. Belief is the force that pushes you to act even when fear is loudest. Let me break it down even further. Fear is like a shadow. It is only as big as the light you shine on it. The brighter your belief, the smaller the shadow of fear becomes. The more you trust yourself, the more resilient you become. The more you commit to your vision, the less intimidating fear becomes. Belief is the light that exposes fear for what it really is. A challenge, a signal, an obstacle to rise above. Not a reason to quit. When your belief is strong enough, fear cannot stop you. When your belief is clear enough, fear cannot distract you. When your belief is unshakable, fear becomes irrelevant. I want you to understand this clearly. Fear is temporary. Fear is situational. Fear is part of the process. But belief is enduring. Belief is constant. Belief is your anchor when life tries to toss you around. Belief is your compass when the path ahead looks uncertain. Belief is your fuel when every part of your body wants to quit. Fear will come. That is guaranteed. But belief is the power that allows you to push through. That is why belief overcomes fear. It gives you strength, courage, and clarity when you need it most. Think about all the times you let fear stop you. How many opportunities passed you by because fear whispered in your ear? How many dreams never came to life because fear made you hesitate? How many times did fear convince you to settle, to play small, or to give up before you even tried? That is the trap of fear, and is the reason most people never achieve their potential. But here's the good news. You can change that. You can act in spite of fear. You can push forward. You can rise above. And the key to doing that is belief overcomes fear. Let me tell you something else. Fear is often based on the unknown. It is based on what hasn't happened yet. It is based on what might happen. But belief is based on what you know is true inside of you. Belief is grounded in your values, your purpose, and your vision. Belief reminds you that you are stronger than any obstacle. Belief reminds you that you have the ability to adapt, endure, and succeed. Belief reminds you that failure is not the end. It's a lesson, a stepping stone, and a part of the journey. When your belief is strong, the unknown loses its power. Fear loses its grip, and you move forward anyway. Let me break it down for you even further. Action is the bridge between fear and achievement. Fear will never disappear completely. You will feel it in your chest, in your stomach, in your mind. But belief gives you the courage to act in spite of it. Belief gives you the strength to move when you are scared. Belief gives you the determination to persist when quitting seems easier. And every time you act in spite of fear, your belief grows stronger. Your confidence increases and your reality shifts. That is how belief overcomes fear. It transforms hesitation into action and action into results. Think about the people who inspire you most. Do you think they never felt afraid? Do you think they never doubted themselves? Absolutely not. They felt it all. They worried, they questioned, they hesitated. But they acted anyway. They moved forward despite the fear. And they succeeded not because fear disappeared, but because belief was stronger. That is the lesson. Fear will always be there, but your belief can always be stronger. Your belief can always guide you. Your belief can always push you forward. That is why belief overcomes fear. I want you to understand this clearly. Courage is not the absence of fear. It is acting in spite of it. And how do you cultivate courage? Through belief. The more you believe in yourself, the more courage you will summon. The more you believe in your purpose, the more bold your actions become. The more you believe that you are capable of greatness, the more fearless you will feel. Fear is real. But belief is more power. Fear will test you, but belief will sustain you. Fear will challenge you, but belief will guide you. That is the power of belief overcoming fear. Now let me ask you something. How many times have you let fear decide your action? How many times have you been too afraid to take the first step, the next step, or the leap of faith? That fear is normal. That fear is human. But the difference between those who achieve and those who don't is belief. Belief allows you to move despite fear. Belief allows you to take risks despite fear. Belief allows you to step into your potential despite fear. That is why belief is not optional. It is essential. That is why belief overcomes fear. Let me break it down even further. Fear will try to convince you that you are not ready, not capable, or not strong enough. Fear will try to stop you from pursuing your dreams, from chasing your goals, from stepping into your destiny. But belief says, I am capable, I am strong, I am ready. Belief is the inner voice that refuses to quit. Belief is the fuel that powers relentless effort. Belief is the reason why champions, leaders, and legends continue to move forward when the world doubts them. Fear will always be there, but your belief can always be louder. Think about every challenge you faced in your life. How many times did fear try to stop you? And how many times did you push through because you believed in yourself? That is the power of belief. It gives you strength beyond what you thought was possible. It transforms anxiety into action. It transforms doubt into determination, transforms hesitation into courage. That is how belief overcomes fear. That is how ordinary people achieve extraordinary things. That is how champions are made. And here's the truth you need to hear. Fear will never go away completely. It will show up in your life again and again. But each time it does, your belief gets stronger if you act in spite of it. Each time you face fear and move forward, you prove to yourself that you are capable. Each time you refuse to quit, you reinforce your belief. And the more your belief grows, the smaller fear becomes. Fear is temporary. Belief is permanent. Fear is limiting. Belief is liberating. Fear is a barrier. Belief is a key, and that is why belief overcomes fear. So I want you to leave here today and make a decision that no fear, no doubt, no hesitation, and no circumstance can shake. Decide that your belief will always be stronger than your fear. Decide that you will act in spite of fear. Decide that you will rise when fear says to stop. Decide that you will pursue your dreams relentlessly, no matter how intimidating the path may seem. That is the power of belief. That is the principle that will change your life. That is how ordinary people achieve extraordinary results. Get up, believe, push, persist, rise, conquer, face fear, act in spite of it, move forward relentlessly. Let your belief be stronger than anything that tries to hold you back. Because belief overcomes fear. And when belief is stronger than fear, nothing can stop you from achieving the greatness that is already inside you. Listen to me very carefully, because this is the moment that will define everything for you. This is where I want you to take all the energy, all the lessons, all the stories, all the power of what you've heard today and lock it into your mind forever. I want you to understand beyond any doubt that your life, your success, your purpose, and your future are not defined by the people around you, not defined by your circumstances, and not defined by what the world says possible for you. Your life is defined by your belief. The power you carry within you, the dreams you hold, the skills you possess, the potential you have is activated by one thing, and one thing only: belief. And it is time for you to embrace it fully, to internalize it, and to use it as the fuel that drives everything you do. I want you to think about this for a moment. Everything you see in your life right now, the successes, the failures, the opportunities, the setbacks, the happiness, the challenges, is a reflection of what you believe about yourself, about your circumstances, and about your possibilities. Every action you take, every decision you make, every risk you consider is influenced by your belief. That's why belief is not just important, it is everything. Belief shapes your choices. Belief shapes your mindset. Belief shapes your energy. Belief shapes your actions. And your actions, in turn, shape your results. This is a simple, unshakable principle. What you believe is what you become. Let me be clear because I want you to really hear me. Belief is not passive. It is not something that sits quietly inside of you. Belief is a force. Belief is a decision. Belief is a commitment you make to yourself that you are going to fight, no matter what, for the life you deserve. Belief compels you to act. Belief refuses to allow fear to stop you. Belief refuses to allow doubt to slow you down. Belief refuses to allow failure to define you. And that is why it is so powerful. If you want to achieve something extraordinary, if you want to live a life beyond mediocrity, if you want to see your dreams manifest in reality, you must embrace belief as your guiding principle. I need you to understand something fundamental. Belief does not mean that the path is easy. Belief does not erase obstacles. Belief does not make life fair. Belief does not remove setbacks. Belief is not a magic spell that eliminates struggle. What belief does is give you the courage, the focus, and the resilience to face those challenges head on. Belief gives you the strength to endure when the odds are stacked against you. Belief gives you the determination to persist when everything inside of you wants to quit. Belief gives you the vision to see opportunity where others see failure, to see growth where others see limitation, and to see your destiny where others see impossibility. That is the real power of belief. Listen closely because this is crucial. Fear will always show up. Doubt will always try to creep in. Naysayers will always have their opinions. Setbacks will come. Obstacles will rise. Life will test you in ways that feel impossible. And you know what? That is exactly what it is supposed to do. Those challenges are the measure of your belief. Those difficulties are the proving ground for your commitment. Those trials are the moments where belief must rise above everything else. Because when you act in spite of fear, when you persist despite doubt, when you push forward despite setbacks, that is when your belief becomes real, unshakable, and unstoppable. That is when your potential is fully unlocked. I want you to reflect for a moment on all the moments in your life where you held back because you doubted yourself, where you hesitated because fear whispered in your ear, where you stopped short because you didn't believe you were capable. How many opportunities have passed by? How many victories have gone unclaimed? That's the cost of disbelief. But here's the amazing news. That cost ends today. Because from this moment on, you have the choice to believe in yourself fully, unconditionally, and relentlessly. You have the power to step into the life you were meant to live. You have the opportunity to act in alignment with your highest potential. And when you do, the world will bend to your effort, your courage, and your unwavering belief. Let me tell you something else. Belief is contagious, first to yourself and then to the world. When you believe in your ability, when you believe in your purpose, when you believe in your vision, everything you do reflects that. Your energy changes, your confidence grows, your focus sharpens. You begin to operate at a level that others cannot ignore. You begin to attract opportunities that once seemed impossible. You begin to inspire and influence others without even trying. Belief is not just personal. It radiates. Becomes a force that shapes not only your life, but the lives of those around you. That is why the people who achieve greatness are not just doing it for themselves. They are leading, inspiring, and elevating through the power of their belief. I want you to take this seriously. Belief is a daily practice. It is not something that happens once and stays with you. You will be tested. You will face moments of doubt. You will encounter setbacks. You will be challenged in ways that make it tempting to quit. But belief is a muscle, and like any muscle, it gets stronger the more you use it. You have to feed it with positive thoughts. You have to reinforce it with action. You have to protect it from negativity. You have to nurture it every single day. Because the stronger your belief becomes, the more unstoppable you become, and the more inevitable your success becomes. I want you to hear me loud and clear. Your potential is limitless. Your gifts are extraordinary. Your purpose is significant. But none of that matters if you do not believe. Belief unlocks your potential. Belief compels action. Belief sustains resilience. Belief overcomes fear. Belief shapes reality. Belief creates momentum. And when belief is fully embraced, nothing in the world can stop you from achieving greatness. That is the truth. And that is the principle that every successful person in history has understood and acted upon. Now think about this for a moment. The only limits that exist in your life are the limits you place on yourself. The only walls that block you are the walls in your mind. The only chains that hold you back are the ones you accept. And the most powerful key to breaking those chains, to demolishing those walls, and to expanding beyond your limits is belief. Belief in yourself. Belief in your vision. Belief in your ability to rise, to endure, to persist, and to conquer. Once you accept that, once you internalize it, once you act upon it, your life will never be the same. I need you to understand this very clearly. Belief is not optional if you want to succeed. You cannot live your best life without it. You cannot achieve your dreams without it. You cannot push past fear, doubt, or setbacks without it. And the most amazing thing about belief is that it is always available to you. No one can take it from you. No circumstance can eliminate it. No failure can destroy it. And from this moment forward, you have the power to choose belief every single day. You have the power to reinforce in your mind. You have the power to act in alignment with it. You have the power to create the life you have always dreamed of. Let me give it to you straight. Your life is waiting for you to believe at a higher level. Your success is waiting for you to believe that it is possible. Your greatness is waiting for you to believe that you are capable. Your dreams are waiting for you to believe that you deserve them. Every action you take, every decision you make, every challenge you face will be amplified by the strength of your belief. And the stronger your belief, the bigger the results. The more unstoppable your effort, the more inevitable your success. That is the power. That is the truth. That is the principle that will transform your life if you embrace it fully. So I'm telling you right now, stop doubting yourself. Stop questioning your ability. Stop letting fear dictate your actions. Start believing, start trusting. Start committing fully to your potential, your purpose, and your destiny. Let belief be your guide, your fuel, and your weapon. Let belief propel you forward when the road is hard. Let belief give you courage when fear whispers. Let belief sustain you when everyone else doubts. Let belief unlock the greatness that has been sitting inside of you all along. Because that is what it does. There's this power. That's the reason belief is everything. And finally, I want you to leave here today with a commitment. A commitment that no failure, no fear, no limitation, no opinion, and no circumstance can shake. A commitment that you will carry with you every day. A commitment that said, I believe in myself. I believe in my purpose. I believe in my potential. I will act. I will endure. I will persist. I will rise. I will conquer. That is not just words or words. It is a declaration. It is a promise. It is a principle. And if you live by that, nothing can stop you. You will rise. You will win. You will achieve. You will become the person you were always meant to be. So now I want you to take a deep breath and let this sink in. Let the truth of this message fill every corner of your mind, every fiber of your being, and every cell of your body. Let belief become your identity. Let belief become your practice. Let belief become the force that drives every thought, every action, and every decision. Let belief be your power, your courage, your persistence, and your guide. Believe, act, persist, rise, conquer. And when you do, there is nothing, absolutely nothing that will be able to stop you.